What's going on, everybody? Mike here with iSMELL. Hope this video is finding everybody well. In today's video, we are going to be teaming up with Trayvon, aka ScentTalkTV, a really dope content creator coming out of St. Louis, Missouri. So here's how it's going to work. Here in a second, I'm going to kick it on over to Trayvon. He's going to run you through some of his favorite summer fragrances right now. He'll hand it off back to me, and then I'm going to be doing the same. In totality, this is going to be a top 10 list of summer fragrances, which should definitely be on your radar if they are not already. In the spirit of not rambling though, I will go ahead and hand it on over to Trayvon now. I really do hope to see y'all back over here in a few.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Trayvon here with ScentTalkTV. Thank you so much, Mike, for having me for this top 5 fragrance list for summer 2023. So I'm gonna start off with this one. This fragrance is none other than Nautica Voyage. This fragrance here smells ridiculously good. It's just one of those fragrances that, man, just puts you in the mood of, like, you know, the beach, white t-shirt and some jeans. You know, excellent performance, and wear this in a high heat. It has like this fresh aquatic, and it's also a warm aquatic, you know, woodsy. It also has like this fruity white floral masculine appeal to this fragrance that's very fresh, captivating to anybody's nose, because I haven't met anybody that didn't like this fragrance at all. Compliment puller for sure in the summertime. This is ridiculously good. I highly recommend this one. I even got a 200 ml size bottle of this. It's that good. I love it so much. So next on my list is from the House of Hollister. This is Hollister Wave 2. Now, I put a nice dent in this, and I'll get to that in a minute. But this fragrance is a nice, like, green, fresh, spicy type of fragrance. That's sweet, a little bit of powderiness, have some rosy, like, masculine florals in here. Not too much, it's subtle. I also have some woodiness, woodsy creaminess, and it has another saddlewood and a base in here that is very, very captivating to my nose. Now, this is a compliment getter for sure, because my coworker actually flagged me down when I walked out of the bathroom, and he walked in after me, and he asked me, he was like, "Bro, that smells so good. What are you wearing?" I said, "Hollister Wave 2." And this is very inexpensive for the smell, and a scent profile is inexpensive. Smells like it should be more, it should cost more, but man, this right here is like $20 and some change. Maybe you can get it less. And this is a beautiful scent, man. I also have a backup bottle of this. This is amazing. So this is second on my list. Hollister Wave 2. So up next on my list is from the house of Issey Miyake. This is L'Eau Supermajeure DHC. This one has a very bold, marine, sea salty, fruity aspect to this fragrance. It has very good performance, very good longevity. You know, once the heat hits this, it pushes out quite a bit. But if you're the type that, you know, you love, like, you know, fruity, like strong, sea salty, marine type of a scent that screams vacation in a bottle, this is the one for you. Now, you got other flankers of Issey Miyake, the DHC line, but this one right here is amazing. It also has, like, you know, a citrusy, bold tartness to this, mixed in well with that, you know, that sea salty marine type of an aspect to this fragrance. So I highly recommend this fragrance to anybody that's into that scent profile and wants to smell nice and captivating to, like, you know, women or just in general for yourself. This is awesome. L'Eau Supermajeure DHC, ladies and gentlemen. So up next, we have from the house of Ralph Lauren, we have Polo Blue Ultra Blue Parfum. This fragrance here has a unique, captivating, attractive note of, I believe it's mango in here. And it smells really, really good. Overall, you get this, like, this dry, dusty, you know, aquatic, little bit of a marine sea saltiness with a lot of good woods in the background. Fresh, a little bit of a fresh spicy in the opening. But that mango is unfortunately short-lived, but don't let that deter you from this fragrance because this fragrance smells awesome. Now, I suggest if you are interested in this fragrance, I suggest that you overspray with this one as well. However, once the heat hits this one, you know, it pushes out nicely, but not too much of a beast. This fragrance is right where it needs to be in terms of performance and longevity, and when it comes to, like, you know, adapting to the high heat. So that mango note is it's short-lived. You know, like I said, you know, it doesn't last too long because it's like, you know, noticeable in the opening, but then it withers away and you're left with like this dry, dusty, you know, marine freshness, a little bit of woodsy, fresh spice, you know, in the base of this fragrance as the fragrance persists on your skin. This is an awesome fragrance. This is unfortunately, as I've researched, discontinued. However, this is still nonetheless a great fragrance from the house of Ralph Lauren. And that's Ultra Blue Parfum, ladies and gentlemen. So last but not least, from the house of Versace, this is Versace Man Eau Fraiche. Now, this fragrance here has this like a juicy, like bergamot and lemon note that's in the opening in the top. Has this warm, dry fruitiness from the cardamom in the top as one of the top notes as well. Has this like this grassy herbaceousness, warm, spicy, tropical fragrance that is just, it's like you would think that by smelling it, it would be light, it wouldn't project much, and you probably can go nose blind to it, but people around you will smell this, even if you don't. They will smell it and they will give you compliments because I got several compliments in the high heat with this one. When the high heat, it pushes out tremendously. Like no cap, no lies at all. Like I remember I was walking into this community center. Like I'm a mailman, so I deliver to this community center back like a couple of years ago, and it was hot around this time of year. And the front desk that I delivered mail to, the lady was like, "Man, you smell really, really good." It was also a gentleman that worked there that asked the same thing. He was like, "Bro, what are you wearing, man? It smells so good." And I told him, like, this will garner you compliments as well. Has a nice long-lasting factor. Haven't worn this in a while, but I know for a fact that it does last a while on your skin in terms of the high heat. Climate control situations, it sit close to the skin, but it's like in your intimate area just a little bit. But once your body heat pumps up, builds up, this actually performs quite nicely. And I highly recommend this. This is an awesome fragrance to have for, like, you know, the summertime in terms of that performance. It does adapt really well with the heat. It does get the job done. This is a great fragrance from the high heat. Versace Man Eau Fraiche. Ladies and gentlemen, highly recommend this. So that's all that I have for my top 5 list for the summer of 2023. So iSMELL, Mike, back to you, bro.
Hey Trayvon, I really appreciate you sharing some of your favorite summer fragrances with us. And just as a side note, I know that Nautica Voyage gets a lot of hate, almost to the point where I don't really feature it on the channel that much. But God honest truth, y'all, this one right here is genuinely one of my wife's favorite fragrances on me. It's a super recognizable scent profile, and for as synthetic as it does come across, it absolutely works, especially for summer. But I'm not gonna keep y'all here too long. I'm gonna jump right into my portion of the list, and I'm gonna be the first one to admit to y'all that normally the overly sweet, super loud scent profiles, they generally aren't my favorite type of fragrances. But when you consider that super sweet fragrance genre, I do make an exception with this first fragrance because, in my opinion, it is exceptional. Fragrance number 1 comes from the extremely popular house of Jean Paul Gaultier. The name of this fragrance is Le Beau Le Parfum. All right, so I picked this one up about 3 months ago via a European website called News Parfums. Shipping is a grip, but a lot of the new releases do come on that website a lot sooner than US discounters do. As it relates to the fragrance itself, I do believe it can be worn at any point of the year generally speaking, but it is my opinion that this one is absolutely going to shine during the summer months of the year. The notable notes on Le Beau Le Parfum is going to include coconut, pineapple, cypress, iris, tonka bean, as well as sandalwood. Now I'll give you a couple sprays and let you know what I smell on this fragrance. Yeah, you guys, this is a good one, not even gonna lie. This is a really good fragrance. I will say though that it does come out strong right out of the gate. It's fresh, just a little bit spicy, but what conveys through is the fruitiness, the sweet fruitiness, primarily coming in the form of both that coconut as well as that pineapple, and it's for that reason, that combo, it gives this fragrance a tropical vibe. Some might even say suntan lotion, but I don't really get that. That's what you're gonna get for the first half of the fragrance, and it will eventually dry down to a smooth, creamy, warm, woody fragrance with a fair amount of that sweetness remaining all the way to the end, probably because of that tonka bean. Again, if you can handle the sweet stuff, this one right here is definitely a fragrance that's gonna get you noticed 100%. I am gonna be kind of situational with this fragrance, but I am super happy that I have it in my collection. One that you should definitely check out. It's gonna be a hit this summer. I'm sure it's already getting featured on a lot of people's channels. At the #1 spot from Jean Paul Gaultier, we have Le Beau Le Parfum. All right, so if for whatever reason you found fragrance #1 to be a bit too juvenile for your taste, this next one I think is going to be more up your speed and is in fact considered by many, including myself, to be one of the best summer releases currently on the market, at least in the designer realm. Fragrance #2 comes from the house of Hermes. The name of this fragrance is Terre de Hermes Eau Givrée. So what I really like about this fragrance is that it retains what we all come to know and love about your citrus aromatic type of scent profile. But what Hermes did is injected just enough of that original Terre de Hermes DNA to give it a level of sophistication that a lot of citrus aromatics lack. The notable notes in Eau Givrée is going to include citron, juniper berries, tamor, which is a pepper, mineral notes, as well as woody notes. Now, in regards to how this fragrance expresses itself, it's not overly complex, but it's not a simplistic scent profile either. I'll give you a couple sprays of this one just to refresh my memory. Yo, the quality is on another level. Okay, so if you've smelled fragrances like Dolce & Gabbana Forever, as well as Dior Homme Cologne, that's generally the idea of this fragrance. It does have that bitter, rindy, sour, but also very refreshing citrus type grapefruit notes. But I've heard people say the iced lemonade comparison with these citrus aromatics. In all honesty, this one does it the best out of any fragrance in the citrus aromatic realm that I have smelt thus far. There might be better ones out there that captures that iced lemonade vibe, but this one right here is one of the best in my opinion. That's what you're gonna get for a good portion of the fragrance. It will eventually start to dry down, and that's when you're gonna smell hints of that Terre de Hermes vibe. It's gonna get a bit peppery. Some might even say dirty. I don't think it goes that far. It's just enough to where this is a true flanker in every sense of the word. If you're in the market for a quality citrus aromatic that punches well beyond its price point, this is definitely one worth checking out. There is a reason why so many people are hyping this one up right now. It's because it is literally worth the money that you're gonna spend on it. Definitely one worth getting your nose on if you haven't already. At the #2 spot from Hermes, we have Eau Givrée. Okay, so in the case of this next one, I'm gonna let y'all know right out of the gate that it's not gonna be for everybody. It's not a mass appealing scent profile, and because of that, not everybody's going to enjoy it. But if you are in the market to mix it up this summer, add something a little bit different into your rotation that doesn't smell exactly like everything else you already have on your shelf. Basically, it's not gonna be redundant. I do believe this one is going to be an excellent option worth exploring. Fragrance #3 is a 2022 release, re-release technically, coming from the house of Kenzo. The name of this fragrance is Kenzo Homme EDP. All right, so what initially piqued my interest about this fragrance was the perfumer himself, because the same person that created this is also going to be the mastermind behind the extremely popular fragrance known as Ganymede. The notable notes in Kenzo Homme EDP is going to include sea notes, leather, and patchouli, but let me be the first to tell y'all that there is way more going on than just those 3 notes, most notably the note of Aki Gala wood. For those of y'all frag heads, you know what I mean by that. It's a fairly new note within the development of perfumery itself. It creates a very distinct smell that you're not gonna be able to pick up in many other fragrances right now. I'll give you a couple of sprays of this one as well, and as y'all can tell, my atomizer is gold. It's not supposed to be gold, it's supposed to be matching the bottle, but I'll save the reasons for why I'm using a gold atomizer for the full review. Yo, this is such a weird fragrance, you guys. Like, legitimately, this is such a weird fragrance. I almost have a hard time explaining it, to come up with words to describe what this smells like, because it doesn't fit any conventional box that you would just typically say a fragrance smells like. The best way I know how to describe it is to imagine semi-salty seawater being blended with a sharp but also slightly sweet leather note. There is a good bit of freshness, not overly sweet, not done in the aquatic style that you might be used to. This is not Bulgari Atlantique. This is not Dolce & Gabbana light blue eau intense. Yeah, and then in the dry down, you're gonna get a heavy dose, almost overdosed in this damp, dark, woody note known as Aki Gala wood. It has a mineral vibe, earthy, really dark. At least it's done in this, and it's done, from all accounts, from everything I've heard, in the style of Quentin Biche, the one that created Ganymede. So his signature is in this fragrance. All in all, I do think it's a really situational fragrance, not one that I'm gonna always wear, but I do appreciate the fragrance for what it's doing, and I'm happy to have it in my collection because, again, it doesn't smell like everything else I currently have in my collection. This is definitely one worth exploring and one worth me doing a full review of, because I do think more people are gonna catch on to this fragrance and appreciate it, because it doesn't really smell like anything else out there right now, at least as aquatics are concerned. All in all, I do think it's a solid fragrance worthy of getting your nose on. At the number 3 spot from Kenzo, we have Kenzo Homme EDP. All right, so whereas fragrance number 3 is a super situational, not mass appealing fragrance that everybody's gonna love, fragrance number 4 by design is essentially the opposite, and it is most likely going to be, out of any fragrance that I talk about in today's video, at least on my portion, the one that I wear the most. In my opinion, it is going to be the type of fragrance where if you are only looking for one fragrance to hold you down this summer, this one right here is gonna fit the bill. It's gonna do a great job. Fragrance number 4 comes from the iconic house of Dior. The name of this one is Dior Homme Sport 2021. All right, so what Dior did with this one is build off of what they already knew worked. Like, they found that people like this, that, and this. They made sure to check all those boxes. They built upon that and created a very well composed fragrance with a ton of versatility. The notable notes in Dior Homme Sport 2021 is going to include citrus, aldehydes, woody notes, elemi, pink pepper, as well as amber. I'll spray this one a couple times as well. As you can see by my juice level, I really do like this fragrance. Okay, so this one opens up citrusy, fresh, but also spicy with a ton of aldehydes, which just brightens this one up. It gives it a beautiful scent bubble without ever becoming obnoxious. And that's what I mean, it just checks all of the boxes. In many ways, they just took everything that was good about Dior Homme 2020. They retained the woodiness, the aldehydes, and then they just added additional citrus, which gives this one here another level of freshness that its predecessor didn't have, and it makes it to where it works very extremely well for the hotter months of the year. This is definitely one of my favorite fragrances to reach for during the summer months. It just works well casually. You can dress it up, you can wear it at work, you can wear it at social function. It literally works any time of the year. It's a good masculine cologne that smells good for the everyday guy, and definitely one, in my opinion, that is a staple for this summer. If you're in the market for a fragrance this summer, you don't know what to get, definitely get your nose on this one. It's gonna work. I can almost promise you that. At the number 4 spot from the house of Dior, we have Dior Homme Sport 2021. All right, so last but not least is going to be, out of all the fragrances that I talk about today, my most recent acquisition. I've literally had it less than a month. I was recently gifted it for my birthday, and since then I've worn it probably at least 5 times, which is a fair amount when you have over 100 fragrances. Fragrance number 5 comes from the house of Dolce & Gabbana. It's a 2023 release. This one goes by the name of Light Blue Summer Vibes. So what I will say about Summer Vibes is that if you already own Light Blue Eau Intense, I do think some of y'all are going to find this one to be slightly redundant, but for those of y'all that do love that type of scent profile, this one is going to appeal to you. The notable notes in Summer Vibes is going to include lemon, cypress, as well as amberwoods. It follows the trend of only providing 3 notes, but there's definitely more going on than just those 3 notes. I'll give you a couple sprays as well on this one. Yeah, immediately. Assuming you've smelled Light Blue Eau Intense, that's what you're gonna get with this one. For those of y'all that haven't, I'll explain. Basically, you're gonna be getting like oceanic, aquatic vibes being blended with really overly acidic citrus notes. The same is the case with Summer Vibes, but what they did was essentially modernize the DNA just a bit by providing some greenness in the form of that cypress, as well as amberwoods, which basically just means a warm, woody note. It kind of makes this one a little bit heavier versus its predecessor. Again, I do think this is a solid release. I do slightly still prefer Eau Intense to this one, but for those of y'all in the market for a great smelling fragrance, essentially, there's nothing wrong with this one in the way it smells. It's a very good fragrance in my opinion. This is definitely one worth checking out this summer. Last but not least, at the number 5 spot today from Dolce & Gabbana, we have Light Blue Summer Vibes. Alright guys, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for me. Those are 10 summer fragrances, which should definitely be on your radar this summer if they are not already. I really want to thank Trayvon, aka ScentTalkTV, for teaming up with me to do this collaboration. Thank you, brother. I really do appreciate it. Hope it's the first of many collaborations moving forward. So, for those of y'all that did watch until the end of the video, y'all know I like to do my DECANT giveaways at the end. This is what I want to do. To show my appreciation for watching the entire video, I'm going to send a decant out of any fragrance that I talked about on my portion of the list to you free of charge. Just 2 things. Make sure you're subscribed. You can leave a comment below and let me know which fragrance you want to check out. That's all you got to do. Again, just my way of saying thank you for watching the entire video. I really do love and appreciate all the support. We have a ton of content coming down the pipe, so please do make sure to stay tuned. Until next time, you guys, y'all take care. Stay safe. I'll see y'all around.